Hello, my name is James Hunter, and this is my 2 cents channel where I talk about different topics, ranging from mental health to physical fitness and just topics of interest. And today I'm going to talk about my flexible split routine that I use for arranging my workouts and training. Now, there's different, program designs for different situations, and that's a different video. This is going to be a bit more general and a way of thinking rather, and how you can approach putting together your workouts during a 7-day week. So for me, I'm training for a bodybuilding contest this summer. That's a shameless double bicep shot. So for individuals who may just be training for, because they want to look good at the beach, right, during the summer or whatever it is, your anniversary, and you just want to increase muscularity, look your best. So for hypertrophy, which we're going to mention briefly, it basically means an increase in the cross-sectional area of muscle fibers. So when people say they're trying to increase and build muscle and get bigger, that's a goal that you're going to be training for. That's the versus muscular endurance, for example. So what I'm going to talk about is a split routine. For beginners who are working out 2 to 3 times a week, this is not as much of an issue, because I'm going to be talking about recovery. And if you're only working out 2 to 3 times a week for a beginner, you're pretty much just hitting each body part 1 time per week. So you're not going to really run into a whole lot of problems, as far as figuring things out. If you're an intermediate person and now you're beginning to work out 3 to 4 days per week, and you're starting to think, hey, I can train my muscle groups, twice a week now. Now this will be something to think about, what I'm going to talk about. But definitely, if you're more of an advanced trainer, you're working out 4 or more times per week, and you want to have a goal of more frequency to start increasing, getting more adaptations from the body, or as they say, to get more gains, right? So we're going to talk about that situation. So essentially, a split routine is just, if you have 4 more workouts evenly spread out in 1 week, but with each workout including exercises that train only a part of the body, or muscle groups rather. And the result is an increase in training frequency. And this is the important part I'm going to talk about, with sufficient recovery between workouts. So let's get into that with recovery and rest periods. Now, back when I was growing up, I'm 48 years old, and I played sports, football, I ran track and field. And then later on in life, I also, powerlifting and bodybuilding. But when I was like a teenager, I learned to lift weights. I started around, I was 12 going on 13 in the 7th grade. And so it went from there, and the coaches would always say, you only need, 48 hours or at least 2 days of rest before you could train that body part or do that exercise again. So I grew up with that mindset. But as I got older and became more aware of my body, and became more educated and just aware of things like training intensity and just the amount of stress that you can place upon the body, for me, it's become more of a 72 hours, 3 days rest most of the time, and just really listening to the body. Because if you have a very intense workout, pick leg day, for example. So if I have a full-on, do all my leg lifts and at my first workout of the week, I'm going to rest at least 3 days. Sometimes maybe even 4, before I train legs again within that 7-day period, because I want to be fully recovered before I hit legs again. And on that second leg workout of the week, it'll be similar, but it may not be exactly the same, and I'm going to talk about that too. So all right, so training each muscle group twice within a 7-day period is what I like to think of it about as a 7-day period. Sometimes we get caught up in this Monday through Saturday type of thing. Well, some people may not start their workouts until like Thursday, or maybe like for me, this week, Monday is going to be my rest day, and I'm going to start them in on Tuesday. I worked out this weekend. I did Saturday and Sunday workouts. Saturday was chest, shoulders, and triceps, and then today, Sunday, I did back and biceps, all right? Monday, the reason it's going to be my rest day is because I'm going to go see the Avengers Endgame, right? Good reason. It's a good day to have a rest day on, right? But I want to see that movie. So, all right. So let's talk about some exercise variation between muscle group workouts. Well, why might you want to have that? So if I'm training, for example, let's say I'm going to do back and biceps. For me this week, I'm going to write my routine, or way I'm probably going to end up doing it. So Monday is I'm off. Tuesday is going to be legs. Wednesday will be chest, shoulders, and triceps. I'm just going to put the letters of the word. And then Thursday will be back and bicep. So this week, this is going to be my first 3 workouts of the week, or 3 consecutive rather of the days. So Tuesday I'm going to have my my biggest leg, more intense, if you want to use that word, or heavier loads type of a workout with legs. I'm going to squat. I'm going to squat on Tuesday, and I will shoot for at least 8 sets of squats. I don't like to, I have warm-up sets, and I guess it's part of your working out, but I like to think of my work-in sets. Okay, now I have a sufficient amount of weight on the bar, and I'm doing for hypertrophy 6 to 12 reps on each set for me, and the weight is sufficient enough to where that 6 or 12 reps is challenging. I have to work for it. Okay, so I'm gonna do my squat first, and it's gonna be the my first big lift of the leg workout. After that, I will proceed to doing the 45-degree angled plate-loaded leg press. Some people might do the hack squat machine and so on. So I will pick, a plate-loaded leg exercise machine. I like leg presses, so that's going to be my second exercise selection in my first leg workout on Tuesday. And I'm going to do, on those, I'll do 8-10 sets, no problem. That's not too much for me. Now, as far as your set range, they'll say 3 to 6 sets, depending on whether you're intermediate, advanced, and so on. I consider myself advanced. I've been lifting weights for 35 years, so I have a foundation. I'm used to doing this. I have the conditioning to put in that amount of sets or work. So you determine what's right for your situation, and and part of that has to do, with your diet, nutrition, supplementation, your rest, and those type of things are going to have an impact on some of these variables are going to matter as far as how many sets and things you can get away with in the gym and so on. And that's probably a whole nother video right there. So, okay, so when we're looking at my leg workout, I just mentioned the squat, the leg press machine, and then after that, I'm going to go do the single joint exercises. By the way, the multi-joint core structural, the larger type of movements are the ones you do first in terms of order of selection, like which ones you pick first. Most people understand that. So I'm going to do those larger movements that are multi-joint first. A squat, moving at the hips and knees. You're flexing at 2 or more joints. So I'm going to do that, leg press, and so on. So after I've gotten those done, I'm going to do the single joint. The seated leg extensions, leg curls. You may even throw in the stiff leg raises, or for your hamstrings as well. So there's different things you can do in that area. You can mix it up, as far as what you feel comfortable doing. So that's pretty straightforward. It doesn't sound complicated, but if you're, keeping your rest periods, 30 to 90 seconds, and you have enough sets in there, the intensity is going to go up. I try to keep my rest periods, under 60 seconds, sometimes 30 seconds, and then I do my next set, and I keep the weight sufficient to where the 6 to 12 reps, I usually get at least 8 reps on my sets. That's, sometimes 6 on the dumbbell presses towards the end, because I keep the weight to where it's going to be challenging, sufficient to put the stimulus on the muscle to produce the adaptations. If I'm getting 12 reps, pretty comfortably, then that's not enough weight. So the rest period is really important in this area, because you can write down a routine and it looks pretty basic. Well, shit, he's just going to do squats, leg presses, and now he's going to do some stiff leg raises, and then he's going to do leg extensions, leg curls, and some calves. Well, that doesn't sound too horrible. Well, okay, shorten your rest periods to where it's just minimal before you do each set. Don't cheat, stick to it, try to get all of your sets in, and then also have enough weight, as I mentioned. That right there, that's just one way to increase your intensity. And I haven't even touched into supersetting things yet. Well, I'm going to get into that here in a few seconds. So that would be my first leg workout, which is going to be Tuesday. So this exercise variation between muscle group workouts, this is what I'm talking about. So, okay, when I hit legs again here on Saturday, I'm not going to do necessarily the exact routine that I did on Tuesday. You know, I'm going to give my lower back a bit of a break. You know, when I squat, my lower back feels good, but I also do other things. You know, I'm doing dumbbell rows during the week. I do bent over barbell rows and so on. So I do things that put a demand on the lower chain or the lower back area, not in a bad way. You know, it makes my lower back stronger, but still, you know, I'm not going to squat twice a week. You know, I'm 48 years old. I don't need to be doing that, and there's no need to. So for what I'm training for my goal. So on Saturday, instead of starting with the barbell squat, I'm going to start with some form of a leg press. Again, for me, I like the 45-degree angled plate-loaded leg press. I'd load that sucker up on the Saturday workout, and you know, I will, because it's my first exercise. So yeah, I'll put, you know, 5, 6 45s on each side. But I warm up, and you know, I'll do 2 on each side, 3, and then the 4 and 5. Usually around 5 is good enough. I don't have to do you know any ego lifting and try to load that thing up, you know, beyond what's necessary. Because when you're doing, again, like with me, I'm shooting for the 12 reps, and I'm not resting very long between these sets. You know, I'm keeping it 60 seconds or less, and then I do another set. My quads get pumped up like they want to explode. And that will happen if you're doing that type of approach. So on this Saturday workout this week, or the second one during the week, after I do a set of leg presses, I immediately get up and I'm going to do walking lunges. You pick a part of the gym. I'll usually pick me a good link down the walk area by the treadmills, in the in-between where nobody is at, and I'll lunge to the end of the treadmills and back. And then I start counting my rest. And then 60 seconds, you know, and sometimes up to 90, you know, but I will immediately get back in there and do another set. And I will try to get at least, you know, 8 working sets out of that sucker, sometimes 10, you know, see how it goes. And then that's my first big movement, and it's a supersetted one. And so that's how I start that leg workout for the second part of the week. And it's not stressful on my lower back. You know, I'm in a supported seat behind me, 45-degree angle, plate-loaded leg press, and the legs are doing all the work, the quads. So what I do then, after that, I may proceed to then superset, you know, do some more lunges, but maybe superset them with leg extensions. Go do my straight leg raises with some dumbbells, do my leg curls, do my calf presses, and so on, and keep that pretty basic. It's not complicated. I'm just trying to get my muscles to respond, and so on. So I'm talking about training for hypertrophy, bodybuilding type goal. So if I was training, say, for football or track and field or powerlifting, for, you know, performance related type of a situation, then yeah, I'm gonna be doing different exercises, and that's a different situation and how I'd organize routines for that purpose. So that's an example of how I would flow legs. I'm gonna do it this week, but guess what? The following week, because I did legs, my last leg workout of this coming week is gonna be on a Saturday. So we're gonna go 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So the following week, my leg day is gonna start on the Wednesday of that week. So it's never the same, you get the idea. And this is gonna be true for pretty much every other muscle group area. So if I'm doing legs on Tuesday, then Wednesday is gonna be chest and back. Chest. If I can get this marker to work, chest, shoulders, and triceps. And I just put the first letter of the word. Chest, shoulders, and triceps on Wednesday. And I'll put the legs back up there for Tuesday. So this Wednesday, I'll do my chest, shoulders, and triceps. I started with legs on Tuesday. So while my legs are resting on Wednesday, I'm hitting chest, shoulders, and triceps. On Thursday, I'm going to do back and biceps, BB, back and biceps. So legs on Tuesday, chest, shoulder, triceps on Tuesday, back and bicep on Thursday. So those are my first three consecutive days. 3 consecutive days of this coming week. Will start for me on Tuesday, because Monday is going to be my off day, my rest day. Okay. So come Friday, what I'm going to do is probably just rest. And then I'm going to go ahead, like I said, hit legs again on Saturday. And then then Wednesday I did chest, shoulders, and triceps. I can do that again on Sunday. And then just keep flowing it through. After every third consecutive day, you can take a rest day like I'm going to do this week. You don't have to if you don't feel you need to. You can go ahead and just roll it into the next workout. Like with me, I could try to do legs on Friday. That would only be 2 days rest. And that's a judgment call for you. For me, yeah, I probably could, but I don't want to because I know I'm going to get a much better workout if I give it the 3 days, the 72 hours, and wait till Saturday. And then I'll just do something different on Friday. You know, I might go swimming, maybe just do some form running, jump rope, something different. Just, you know, not weight training related. You know, I believe in cross training. I do other things too. So my goal will be to get everything within the 7 days, a 7-day week, if you can, twice a week. But if that gets kind of complicated, you're like, oh no, I'm not going to get every body part twice within a 7-day period. If you're not taking the full 72 hours, you can do that with only 48. But with some of your workouts, you may need to only rest the 2 days so you can keep everything within a 7-day period. I could get away probably with chest, shoulders, and triceps with a 2-day rest. That would help me allow for you know, squeezing everything in a little better. But the way I like to see it from my viewpoint is this, is how many days of rest am I getting? So if I'm not having to wait more than 3 days before I hit a body part again, that's a good frequency. That's good reoccurring stimulation to the body for those muscle groups. You're doing good. If you can train your chest, shoulders, and triceps every with 3 days between, which would be every fourth, you know. So yeah, every fourth, 1, 2, 3, and then on that fourth day, boom, you hit it again. That's not bad. And the older you are, this situation with the 72 hours may be a better idea for you. If you're someone in your 20s, you know, you may be able to just do the 2 days rest, as I mentioned. So that's the goal, is to get, you know, twice a week, everything. If you're at the advanced level and you're training for a period of time to achieve a goal, like a bodybuilding contest, or you want to be in shape for the beach, you know, this is a lot more frequency. It's not, you know, it's a lot more than you think in terms of if you're going to sustain it for a period of time. I've been working out like this with this flexible split routine since January 1st, and my contest will be this summer in June. So we're looking at 6 months I've been doing this. So after my competition, you know, I may have a different goal to do something different later in the year. I might do a powerlifting meet or something. So I'm going to take a break from this frequency, and I'm going to probably just train 3 times a week for a month or 2. You know, why? Because it's good to have balance in life. So I will go to this 3 days a week after that's over, that competition. So this is something that's, I think, is good if you have a goal for something. It's not something realistically most people are going to do 12 months out of the year, to have that kind of frequency training every body part twice per week. But it is something that you can do as a temporary intervention over a temporary period of time, like you're going to do it for the summer or a few months before a vacation. You know, it's like you're in training for something, right? And then once you kind of get to where you want to be, you know, go have fun with it, do your thing, and then just kind of adjust afterwards and have balance again for what your needs and goals are. So again, just to kind of review a few things here, just remember your rest periods between workouts, something to think about. You're training each muscle group twice within a 7-day period. You don't have to do the exact same thing every workout. If I didn't mention, I know I mentioned the leg example, but with back and biceps, when I hit this one again, probably on the Monday of the next week, you know, I'm not going to do deadlifts twice a week. I like to do a good deadlift workout with my back and biceps. I'll start with deadlifts, and then after that I do some barbell or dumbbell rows, and then I'll do the cables, high lat row, pull down, and then do biceps. So with that situation, no, I'm not going to deadlift twice a week, not like the way I do it. And some weeks I may not deadlift at all. Right now, I probably deadlift every other week, and that's just because I'm where I'm at with my goals and what I need for my purposes. So that's just another example of each workout. You're training that muscle group that day, but it does not necessarily have to be exactly how it was the first workout of the week. You can even think of periodization, where exercise variation and so on, and that kind of helps you think of that, just to kind of stimulate the muscles a bit differently is another angle you could look at that from. But for me, it's just has to do with working with my body and keeping it healthy, and longevity, and other things that could be said about that. So I hope this helps. I don't want this video to go on forever, and there can be a lot more specific things that can be said about program design, depending on what your goals are for. If you're training for strength, that's a different situation with your reps and rest period. If you're training for a powerlifting meet, different mindset, or similar in some regards, but different situation for as far as what your goal is. Or just muscular endurance. You're going to have a different situation of maybe doing a higher rep range, and so on, and how you organize your workout. So many things could be said about program design, match for your goals, and then how you organize your workouts. So this video today was, again, like I said in the beginning, if you're just trying to build yourself up, increase your frequency for body composition goals like muscularity, increase in muscle, and the low body fat thing, it's about your nutrition and other issues. It's a different video, and I actually have one on that, I believe. So if you have any comments, you want to add to anything I said, how do you think about it? What helps you? For me, my flexible way of viewing it, how every week can kind of flow a bit differently based on my needs, that works for me, and that's why I'm successful. I don't mentally stress. Like this Monday, I could do legs on Monday, but I'm going to go see Avengers Endgame, and then I'll hit legs on Tuesday. That means I rested 4 days from legs from the last time I hit legs. I'm like, so what? My legs are not going to shrink away in 4 days. They're there, and I'll hit them good on Tuesday. And then going forward, I'll keep it at probably 3 days rest between my leg workouts until I get to my contest, and then I accomplish that goal of doing what I said I was going to do, which is compete this year at 48 years old. So you get the idea. That works for me. Don't get stressed out and overthink it, thinking like, oh shit, I was supposed to do my back and bicep on Tuesday and it didn't go right, so now what am I going to do tomorrow? Because tomorrow this routine says that's supposed to be my leg day or whatever. Just relax, take a deep breath, just reset, and just start fresh that next day and move it forward. It's not the end of the world, and you're not going to lose gains because if something gets off by 1 day, it's just not going to happen. So if this was helpful, or you have any comments, like I said, drop some comments below. I appreciate that. Subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that too. I'll be making videos week to week on different topics, just my thoughts on different things and information I try to share that is helpful. And like the video too, I appreciate that. And even if you have a different opinion, that's okay too. There's a lot of ways to think about things, and you may have a different idea that I didn't mention in this video. I don't want this video to go on forever, so I can't possibly mention everything you might have thought of during this time. So until I talk to you again, I hope you'll have a great week, and take care.